What's up, you guys? It's Hayden, and this is my mom.
Hi, guys.
Basically, this video, we're going to be doing a Q&A. I got some questions from some friends and from some other folks that have been tuning into my channel, and they have some pretty good questions that they want to ask my mom from the perspective of a parent who has a child who is transgender. And though I'm 26, I'm still the baby.
Always my baby.
I'll always be the baby.
Always be my baby.
I'll always be the baby. There's upcoming events such as National Coming Out Day and stuff like that, and I know it can be a really intense thing to come out to family members, especially parents. So I thought it would be really great to do a video as a Q&A with my mom, because I was here with her. And I'm very fortunate in the sense that I have a mother that is hands down one of my biggest supports. She's continuing to always want to learn and grow more as a human, and she just wants to learn more.
I do.
About, my journey and, just throughout my entire life. She's
Right.
always wanting to support me, so. Did you, as a parent, ever have any question of it? Do you look back now and you think, hey, that could have made a lot of sense?
I kind of questioned it a lot. When you came out and told me, I would think back. Is there something I missed? Is there something I could have done better as a parent? Because you'd never want your children to suffer. You don't want your children to hurt. So it's like I had a really hard time thinking it. But honestly, Hayden, when I saw your GoFundMe page and I watched your video, it really hit home. It really, really hit home. I just didn't know, because you didn't talk about it back then. It wasn't like it is today. I mean, I just thought you were a tomboy. Mm-hmm. As much as I tried to get you to wear dresses. Yeah. Heavens, you were into baseball or softball, it was, and I'm sure there were signs. There were a lot of signs, but back then, like you said, you just didn't talk about it.
Yeah, it was something that wasn't really brought up in media or anything.
It really wasn't.
You probably didn't even know the term trans.
Right.
I don't
and
think
granted, it was around.
Yeah.
I mean, it was around, and it's just something that you would never dream would happen to your family.
Yeah. I think the thing with my childhood, it was pretty unique, I was different. But there were girly things that I did like as a child, but there were also really masculine things I liked as a child.
There was.
So I totally understand where, the tomboy thing comes into play, especially in the early 90s. Trans wasn't a thing that was really talked about. Right. Now, it's a really different time.
Yeah.
It's a very, very different time where a lot of parents are being more accustomed to things like this, and they're able to learn more, have access to different resources. The early 90s, there wasn't even internet.
No kidding.
I don't know, I'm very fortunate to have the relationship that I do with my mom, because she's really able to get down to my level and understand things, try her best to understand things. She may not understand everything fully, but
I don't, but I try to.
But you try. And
learn as much as I can, and
yeah.
I do ask a lot of questions.
And that's great.
As stupid as they may sound.
No, there's no stupid question. There's no stupid question. That's one thing I do want to say is, for parents of a trans child, questions are very important. You want to make sure that your child's needs are being met, because support is the biggest thing that a trans child really needs from their parent. Why was it so important for you to raise your children in such a supportive and loving environment?
Being from a divorced family, so many kids go through a lot of insecurities. And I didn't want any of my kids to feel that it was their fault. I didn't want them to feel insecure. And so it was real important for us to raise the kids in a, an open, healthy relationship, where I wanted them to know they could come to me at any time. They knew that we always loved them, and there's nothing we wouldn't do for the kids. Nothing.
Because like our family, we've gone through quite a bit, and
A lot.
I feel like me with all of my hardships in my teenage years and all of the stupid shit that I did all the time, it was really hard, and I feel like it wasn't fair to my parents and to my mother. I feel bad for that sense, but at the same time I always felt safe
Yeah.
coming to you about
Right.
things. Like I was always really open to you about things, even if it
Yes,
took
you
me
were.
a little bit.
Yes, you were.
If I really fucked up on something and I was really scared to tell you, I eventually told you.
You did. But I don't think the outcome was ever as bad as what you thought it would be.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. I was,
Yeah.
I was a pretty easy mom.
You were a pretty easy one.
I was a pretty easy mom.
You had some discipline in there too, though.
Yes. Oh,
You did.
definitely.
You did.
I had to. It's called tough love.
Yep. How did you know it was time to approach certain family members about my transition? When did you
Okay.
know it was right for
Yeah.
you to let them know about what was going on
Okay.
in my life?
It was really hard for me in the very beginning. I was going through a whole gamut of emotions. I was grieving the loss of my daughter. I was scared. I didn't know anything about this. I was worried about Hayden. I was worried about what other family members were going to think, because I went through feelings like, what did I do wrong? Because I blamed myself at the time that, I did something wrong raising him. So when it came to talking to family members, there are certain family members that I felt I could come out to sooner than others because I knew I felt safe with them. I knew that they were going to be a support to me and also a support to Hayden. And that was the utmost important to me, that they were still going to love Hayden. I was so afraid of what people were going to think.
You needed support in this because it wasn't just my transition, but you were also going through a transition.
I was.
It was like everyone, you have a child and you have all these hopes and dreams for your child that you want them to do all these things.
I did.
The fact that I was born, biologically female, I feel like you had a lot of hopes that
Were shattered.
yeah.
Basically, really.
Yeah.
Because, I remember one night talking to my husband and just crying. And, I said that I'll never have that big wedding that, that I thought I was going to have. I grieved a lot. I grieved the loss of my daughter. I grieved the loss of all my hopes and my dreams I had of having a girl.
I think you find a lot of support among certain family members who you are close with, and who I'm not even all that close with, but I still love them to death.
Right.
You know, like I love my family to the
Right.
moon and back. But I feel like it was something that was really important to you, as it should be important to you,
Mhm.
because those feelings are so valid of grieving the loss of your daughter. I felt bad. I felt really bad in the sense that I feel like I did crush your hopes and your dreams of this little girl. And
You know, but I don't mean to cut you off, but maybe they were crushed, but I have new dreams and new hopes. I mean, there's a beautiful future I'm looking towards.
this kind of segues into the next question that we had received, and it is, how do you deal with unaccepting family members when it comes to my transition?
Right, right. You know, everybody processes things in their own time. You know, and certain family members, I just have to give them the time they need. I don't let them get to me, you know, because I love Hayden. I believe in Hayden. I support Hayden. That's my number one. And I just feel it, you know, that they're the ones who are missing out. Life is so short and life is so precious. All they need to do is ask questions, and I'm always there to answer questions or help them understand. Hayden is such a great person, and Hayden is still the same person today as he was 10 years ago, you know? You're still the same person. That's the one thing I do tell family members, any family member, that he's still the same person. He still has the same soul. He has the same heart. If there are family members who are having a harder time, you know, I understand. It's just like grieving. Everyone grieves in their own time. There's no set pattern. There's not like a time frame. Granted, I would love them all to, you know, open their arms and not be afraid to talk about you. I guess that's the thing that hurts me the most, is when they're afraid to talk about Hayden.
And I mean, I've even experienced it at like family get-togethers. There's certain people that don't really wanna, or not don't want to, but they don't know how to interact with me.
And that's right.
And
I think they're
that's-
scared, they're uncomfortable.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to.
Right.
It's uncomfortableness, you know, in
Right.
the whole situation. It's something that they're not familiar with.
They can educate themselves and they can come to us and ask questions. I mean, my goodness, that's what I do to this day.
Mom learns every single day, and Mom asks me questions nearly every single day. Like, when we're on the phone with each other, like, we talk easily, like 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah,
I know.
easily. And I
Easily.
feel like it's not enough.
I know. It's so hard to say goodbye. Sometimes our goodbyes go on for over a half hour. You know, I try not to let family members affect me. I'll be honest, recently it did happen that I did get very upset. I said, just watch Hayden's GoFundMe page. Watch his video. And you know what? It was so awesome because that person did. And that person called me a couple days later and said they understand a little bit more. And that was all I was asking.
So for other parents who are watching, who have trans children or children that are questioning their gender, what advice would you give them? How can they help their child?
Okay, I think first of all they need to, well, educate yourself. Just be there for them. Show them love. Show them support. Don't make them feel like they're doing something wrong. It's scary. It's scary for the child. You know, do everything you can to help support him, to help him or her along the way. You know, I think it's important to find support groups that you could take your child to. You know, where you both can go, you both can learn, you both can grow. You know, but most importantly, just love your child. I just think that's the most important thing, is just...
It is important. It's very important. Because I think a lot of, especially transgender youth, when they already feel a rejection from society in general, but then they feel on top of that rejection from a parent.
Right.
That's really hard. That's like a knife to the heart.
Right.
That's really hard. And when you're dealing with suicide rates as high as 41%
Yeah, right.
of people attempt suicide.
You know, I always said I would rather have an alive son than a dead daughter.
Hey guys, sorry for the change of scenery. Unfortunately, my camera died when I was filming with my mom, and it was getting kind of late, and so we just figured we would kind of wrap it up, and I would take whatever footage that I got and make something out of it, and then wrap it up at home. My mom did want to list off some resources for parents, and then I had some that I wanted to list as well, but I'll just put those in the description so you all have access to them. Thank you so much for watching, and kudos to my mom. Thank you so much for being a part of this video. It was super fun. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and you can also share it. I'll do a video within the next couple days or so. I don't know when exactly, but until then, I hope you all have a safe and wonderful few days ahead. Alright, thanks. Bye.